In a tiny village nestled between rolling hills and whispering woods, lived a 7-year-old named Leo. Leo wasn't just any child. His mind was a universe of adventure, filled with dragons, enchanted forests, and faraway kingdoms. While other kids played with toys, Leo would spend hours in his grandmother's attic, a dusty treasure trove of forgotten things. One sunny afternoon, while sifting through a trunk of old linens, his fingers brushed against something hard and cool. It was a small, smooth stone, no bigger than his thumb, that shimmered with a faint, otherworldly light. Etched onto its surface was a single, cryptic symbol. His grandmother, seeing the stone, smiled a knowing smile. That, she said, her voice a gentle whisper, is a whisper stone. It's said to be a key, Leo, a key to the dreamer's path, a legendary trail that leads to the Whispering Falls, where the dreamstone itself is hidden. Her eyes twinkled. They say the dreamstone can grant one heartfelt wish to a pure-hearted seeker. Leo's heart hammered in his chest. A real adventure, a wish. He knew what his wish would be: to bring back the vibrant colors that had faded from his village since the great river ran dry years ago. The next morning, with a small satchel packed with bread, an apple, and the glowing whisper stone, Leo set off. The stone pulsed gently, guiding him toward the woods. As he stepped under the dense canopy of ancient trees, the world transformed. Sunlight dappled through the leaves, painting shifting patterns on the mossy ground. Strange, melodious bird calls echoed through the air. Leo felt a thrill of excitement, not fear. This was just like one of his dreams. He hadn't walked for long when a rustling in the bushes made him jump. Out popped a fox with fur the color of autumn leaves and eyes as green as emeralds. To Leo's astonishment, the fox sat back on its haunches, tilted its head, and spoke. Well, it's not every day a little one walks the dreamer's path. You must be the seeker. Leo, wide-eyed, could only nod. I'm Finn, the fox said with a flick of his tail, and it seems my job is to make sure you don't get hopelessly lost. The path tests more than just your sense of direction, you know. And so, with Finn as his guide, Leo's journey truly began. Their first challenge came at the Giggling Brook, a stream whose waters chattered and laughed. To cross, they had to solve a riddle posed by the river spirits. I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I? Finn looked stumped, but Leo, thinking of his grandmother's attic treasures, grinned. A map, he shouted. The giggling water calmed, and a bridge of smooth, polished stones rose from the riverbed, allowing them to cross. Deeper in the forest, they met the Grumblebogs, grumpy, moss-covered creatures who guarded a grove of glowing moon-petal flowers. The Grumblebogs complained about everything. The light was too bright, the air was too fresh, the silence was too quiet. Instead of arguing, Leo remembered his grandmother telling him that a little kindness can soothe the sourest of moods. He took out his bread and offered it to them. The Grumblebogs, surprised by the gesture, grumbled a little less and, after munching on the bread, showed them the safe path through the grove. Their journey led them up into the Crystal Spire Mountains, where jagged peaks of quartz scraped the sky. The air grew thin and cold. Here they faced their greatest challenge, the Cave of Echoes. Finn explained that this cave reflected a person's deepest fears back at them. As Leo stepped inside, the cave walls whispered his own doubts. "You're too small. You'll fail. The village will never be colorful again. It's all your fault." Tears welled in Leo's eyes. He felt a wave of despair wash over him. But then he clutched the Whisper Stone in his pocket. He thought of his grandmother's smile, the hopeful faces of the villagers, and his own dream of a vibrant home. He remembered the riddle he solved, the kindness he showed. He wasn't helpless. "No," he shouted, his small voice surprisingly strong. "I am brave, I am kind, and I will not give up." The echoes faltered, then faded into silence. The path through the cave lit up, revealing the exit on the other side. Finn was waiting, his green eyes filled with pride. "You see, Leo, the greatest magic was inside you all along." Finally, they reached it. The Whispering Falls, a breathtaking cascade of water that seemed to be made of liquid starlight, tumbling into a crystal-clear pool. And there, in the center of the pool, resting on a pedestal of rock, was the Dreamstone. It pulsed with a warm, gentle light, more brilliant than anything Leo had ever imagined. He waded into the cool water, his heart pounding with anticipation. This was it, the moment to make his wish. He reached the stone, its warmth spreading through his fingers as he touched it. He closed his eyes, ready to wish for the river to return, for the colors to come back to his village. But as he stood there, a different thought entered his mind. He thought of Finn, his loyal friend. He thought of the grumpy Grumblebogs, who were just lonely. He thought of the river spirits, who just wanted a bit of fun. He realized his journey wasn't just about his wish. It was about the friends he made, the lessons he learned, and the courage he found. Opening his eyes, he looked at the magnificent stone and spoke his wish aloud. "I wish," he said, his voice clear and true, "that everyone along this path finds the happiness they're looking for." A brilliant flash of light erupted from the stone, so bright that Leo had to shield his eyes. When the light faded, the Dreamstone was gone. For a moment, Leo felt a pang of disappointment. He hadn't wished for his village, had he failed. But then Finn nudged him. "Look," the fox whispered. Leo turned. Sunlight was hitting the waterfall, creating the most spectacular rainbow he had ever seen. The water itself seemed to be singing a new, joyful song. As they journeyed back, they found the Grumblebogs laughing, tending to a garden of vibrant flowers. The giggling brook greeted them with a cheerful song, no riddle required. The forest felt brighter, more alive. When Leo arrived at the edge of his village, he gasped. A clear, sparkling river was flowing where the dry bed had been. Fields of wildflowers bloomed in a riot of color. The houses were painted in bright hues, and the villagers were singing and celebrating. His grandmother rushed to embrace him. "Leo, you did it," she cried. Leo was confused. "But I didn't wish for this. I wished for everyone else's happiness." His grandmother held his face in her hands. "Oh, my dear boy," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "When you selflessly wish for the happiness of others, you create happiness for everyone, including yourself. That's the true magic of the Dreamstone. Leo, no longer just a dreamer from the attic, but a hero, looked at his vibrant village, at the laughing children, and at Finn, who gave him a final, knowing wink before disappearing back into the woods. Leo realized the greatest adventure wasn't finding a magical stone. It was discovering the magic within himself. The courage, the kindness, and the belief that even the smallest person can make the biggest difference. And he knew with all his heart that this was only the beginning of his adventures.